Hello, welcome back. Recently the weather has been getting really nice where I live. It's springtime and we've kind of had unseasonably warm weather. So I've been feeling very summery and I want to make some nice new tops for me to wear in the warm weather. And I just so happened to to cut out two different tops that are blue. This wasn't intentional, but it just happened to be that way. So I've got a little bit of a blue theme going on for these two projects in this video. And like I mentioned, I already cut them out, but I will talk through what my plans are. And the first one on top is pointelle. It's a cotton pointelle, so it's like it's like stretchy, but it doesn't have recovery. And what I'll be making with this is the True Bias Bryn top. And that's basically just like a cardigan. It's got a V-neck. And the view I'll be making has short sleeves, and I will use, or I'm doing like the cropped version, but I have a super long torso, so I have to lengthen pretty much anything. So it's gonna be the cropped view, but cropped for me. So I added like 2 inches to the length, which is like a little bit between the cropped length and the standard hip length. Moving on to the other project, which is not a knit. This is a woven gingham fabric, and I'm using this fabric to make a Mila Ani Josefina top. And the Josefina top is like a really trendy type of style. A few different pattern makers have come out with patterns that are pretty similar. So there's like a bunch of different patterns you could potentially use for a similar vibe, a similar effect. Basically, it's like a tank top and it has a scoop neck and it's kind of got a drawstring, but I think the only spot that actually like scrunches is like in the front. Like the back and the shoulders, you don't actually have to scrunch it really. And then there's like a waist tie to gather it, and there's multiple different options, but the one that I'm picking has buttons up the front, which should look very cute, very summer, springtime. And this is the first time I'm trying this pattern. The Bryn I've made a few times before, so I'm really familiar with that, but this will be my first time sewing this pattern. And if it turns out well, I've got plans to make the dress version, which should also be very cute. So yeah, keep watching if you want to see me sew these up. Bye. So because the fabric that I'm using for this top is a gingham, I paid really close attention to how everything was lining up whenever I cut everything out, just to make sure that the pattern flowed seamlessly across the front. Here I'm making sure everything lines up, and there is a center line marked on the pattern, so you can kind of use that as a guide. You'll see later on in the final reveal of the top that this work did pay off. It actually took a lot longer than I'm showing here to line everything up. I was fiddling around with it for quite a while, but I cut that out. Using this software called Pattern Projector, and it's got a lot of really nice features if you're projecting your patterns. And I just used the line tool to mirror the pattern piece that I was working on, which is supposed to be cut on the fold. So then I didn't have to fold the fabric, I could just flip the pattern and it was lined up perfectly with the line tool. Both of my cats like to be around in the middle of the action whenever I'm cutting things out, but I am really careful around them with the rotary cutter. The one that I have will close if I don't squeeze the handle, so I have that little safety feature just in case they get near it, but they don't get near the rotary cutter. Here I am hand basting in the ties for the front channel. This is an optional step if you opt to have the tie running all the way around the neckline. You don't have to do this step, but it seemed like kind of an interesting option. So basically the tie's only attached to the shoulder seams and then scrunch up at the front, and in the back there's no drawstring basically. So I just finished sewing the buttons on this tank top. I hand sewed them, so it took a little bit longer, but it's very meditative. And yeah, overall I think it looks cute. The instructions are like super detailed because there's so many variations you can do on this pattern. So there's this version. You don't have to do the waist tie if you don't want to. There's a version without the button placket. There's a couple dress length versions, and there's like a version with ruffles around the neckline and the armholes. So it's a lot of instructions to keep track of. I wasn't like a huge fan of the way the instructions were laid out, but I don't really know how you would avoid that with all the different variations. So maybe it's a moot criticism. I don't know. For fit, I think it's a little bit on the oversized size. I did the size M/L. And I think if I make it again, which I am planning on doing, I have fabric and a plan to do the dress version, I think I would do the medium instead. Just because I feel like this is, I don't know, it's likely to gape open. Sorry, I'm trying to show it. And also, I feel like the waist, I had to really cinch it in to get the right amount of gathering, and I don't know, it just looks a little odd, but maybe, oops, I just like walked into my projector. I don't know, it's just, maybe it'll look better whenever it's washed and everything is settled, because I feel like whenever you just finish sewing something, it doesn't look exactly right until you wash it, kind of like with knitting when you block it. Because when you sew something, you iron everything flat, or you're supposed to. You're supposed to iron everything flat before you cut it, and then, you know, it'll be perfectly flat. So it kind of changes the way it'll look. Like this was a little bit more crinkled whenever I took it out of the wash. I mean, the fabric at least. So yeah, moving on to the Bryn cardigan. I need to change my serger thread to blue, and then that should be a really quick sew. So stay tuned. So usually when I change my serger thread, I don't actually change it by rethreading everything. I will just cut a long tail for the old thread and then tie on the new thread. I did this for all of them, and then you lift up your presser foot to open all the tension discs so that nothing gets caught, and then it just comes through, and it's very easy. Little tip for you if you didn't know about that. So it's less than an hour later since I did that clip with my other top that I made. Oh, sorry. Somebody just barged in. And I am already done with like the body of the Bryn cardigan. I'm so sorry. She's just yelling. Sesame. Oh, you're so beautiful, girl. Oh, who else is it, Zuko? They want their nighttime snack. I'm giving them right after I film this clip. Anyway, so it's like assembled. I just need the button band and the hemming. So like I mentioned, this comes together very quickly. The first step is hemming this, and then the button band goes in afterwards, just to do like the clean finish. But yeah, so far looking good. I'm happy with the length, and yeah, I know the fit is gonna be good whenever the button band's on, and also I'm wearing like a t-shirt. Normally I wear this pattern just like on its own as its own t-shirt, or like its own shirt, instead of as an actual cardigan. Okay, I'll stop rambling. Bye. So I'm hemming with my cover stitch machine, and it's taken me kind of a long time to get the hang of this machine. I wasn't totally sure how to tie off the threads correctly, and I kept getting them, like, they kept unraveling on me. So I finally figured out a way to do that, and that's what I was doing earlier. Hey, so the Bryn cardigan is done. Very cute. Like I mentioned, it kind of like all comes together with the button band. I chose these very pretty light blue buttons that I just had available for, I don't remember, I bought them a long time ago, but they've just been kind of sitting in my stash unused, so I'm glad I've finally found a use for them. And there's like a little bit of, so I use like something called Wonder Tape to attach the ends of the button band. What are you doing, sir? So I use something called Wonder Tape to attach the ends of the button band whenever I'm sewing them on, and that's still a little bit visible, so oops, it's not like it doesn't look complete. Basically it looks like you can still see markings and stuff, much like anything. I feel like, you know, it doesn't look done until it's been washed, but overall very cute. I like this length. I think it's the perfect cropped length for me with my longer torso, etc. So stay tuned for final thoughts and everything. Bye. Alright, so you hopefully should have seen some clips of me wearing the new tops, or I'll insert them over the audio here. I think in the end, the Josefina top with the crinkly, it's like a gauze fabric that I used, it turned out great. I think the fit is actually good with this type of fabric. I feel like if I use something a little bit smoother, like a cotton lawn or something, maybe I should size down. So just something to note, just because it's a gauze, it kind of crinkles up a little bit, so the fit's a little bit better. And then the Bryn cardigan, I kind of knew what to expect with this one. Generally, I think the fit is good. Actually, this is a Bryn cardigan too, ironic. With the pointel though, it doesn't have any spandex or elastane or anything like that in it. So the neckline for that one kind of stretches out a little bit because it is 100% cotton, which isn't ideal. So I think if I do another one that's with that type of fabric again, I might shorten the binding around the neckband, specifically like around this part. I feel like it crinkles up, and you can like press it and it will flatten out okay, but right out of the wash it is really crinkly. So something to note if you decide you want to make one too. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.